Hey, I've had a really nice run finding ties over the last week and a half, 2 weeks. I've got 20 to share with you, and a bunch of these are going to sell fast and for elevated money, and the rest are going to be great bread and butter fillers. So here is two Polo Ralph Lauren ties I found at the same thrift store. The first one is a rep tie. Now, Polo, generally you're safe to grab pretty much any Polo Ralph Lauren tie if you want. They do sell faster than the category average. And for slightly elevated money, there are a bunch of them, though, that will tend to sit and sit. So I try to be a little picky with them. A rep tie like this, minimum 30 bucks. And in this nice classic pattern, I can probably get more, maybe 45. I've seen Polo Ralph Lauren rep ties sell for as much as $125. I don't know if I'm that patient, but 30, let's say 30 to 50 bucks on that one. And the other one, it's just like a solid burgundy. But the reason that I picked this up, this is actually a pretty special type of silk. This is a grenadine weave, which is pretty uncommon. And this is another tie, should easily fetch around $30. And I'll put a close-up of the pattern. And in fact, this might have to be my next what is a sort of tie video. I might have to do one just on the grenadine weave. Up next, I do have three Brooks Brothers ties. I don't think anything particularly special. These are just good bread and butter filler tie inventory. Just thought this one looked really nice with the purple diamonds. And then I've got a couple that are more like small patterns. Wow, seeing it on camera, I don't really like the creases there. But this one's a small floral pattern, very attractive. And this one has little dragonflies on it. That one's actually an older label. And so is that one. Good-looking Brooks Brothers ties, like I always say, not bad to pick up. I wouldn't pay $5 and $6 for them, but at $1, I should easily get $15.95, $19.95, something like that for these ties. Eventually, they might not move quite as fast, but we'll see. Up next, this is a fantastic tie label. I'll find this a couple times a year, probably, usually. Ben Silver. And I don't know if it's because, so I'm actually in North Carolina, so I'm just one state away from Charleston, where his flagship store is. So I don't know if you'll find this label out on the West Coast or the middle of the country. I don't know. But if you do find it, go ahead and pick it up. Ben Silver ties, usually $40 to $60. They can go for more depending what they are. This is rep silk, and I'll have to do some research and see, is this just like Roman or Greek architecture, or does this represent an actual building? Is there some significance to that? I'll have to figure that out before I list it. But always get Ben Silver ties if you see them. It's probably only about 350 listed, and they sell very well, and like I said, for really great prices. Up next, we got a polka dot deal. Really no big deal. It's Joseph A. Bank, but I went ahead and picked it up because it still has the tag on it. It was originally priced at $60. Usually a new with tags Joseph A. Bank tie I can get around $20 to $25 for. This is one of the made in Italy ones, so it's not made in China. But I think the top of the market there is probably around $25. But since it was new with tags, I grabbed it. Speaking of new with tags, I've got a J. Crew tie as well. Now, J. Crew, actually very solid tie flip, very solid bread and butter tie flip. You don't have to be shy about picking up J. Crew ties. So certainly a new one I wanted to grab, and it has on it the lacrosse things. I almost called it a wicket. That's not right. What is the lacrosse? Is it just called a lacrosse stick? What are these called? Drop me a comment and tell me what those are called. But it has the lacrosse motif on it, and it's new with tags. Probably another $25-ish type of tie. Then I've got another purple tie. This one is Peter Millar, not a tie I come across very often. I usually pick them up when I find them. That was interesting. It has the hand folded tag on there, but it is not a sevenfold tie. It's just a tie. So his ties can sell. There's a big range on them, anywhere from $15 to $100. It kind of depends on your patience level, but I see a lot of them go in that $30 to $50 range. So certainly worth picking one up for $1, $1.50, and giving it a shot, right? We also have, it's a Trump tie. I've mentioned before, I feel like the bloom is off the rose with Trump ties, but they still sell. I still pick them up. I do have one or two listed that have not sold in a few months. So I don't know if I have them priced too high. But pretty solidly a low to mid 20s tie has been even a higher price tie in the past. So went ahead and grabbed that just kind of out of habit, but need to look at it because, like I said, the ones I have been sitting for a while, so might be time to start thinking differently on those. I got a couple bow ties here. There's a yellow paisley one, a very tiny Robert Talbot tag on it. So Robert Talbot bow ties, pretty easily like a $22.95, $24.95 type of item. Their bow ties sell pretty well. Wouldn't hesitate to grab one of those. And then this next one is a rep bow tie, and we found another Ben Silver. This is easily a $40 bow tie, something like that, 40 to 50. So really nice pickup there. Love finding Ben Silver, like I mentioned before. Some of these aren't even that great. These are all Jerry Garcia ties. There's that one. This one I wasn't totally sold on. It's not really that bright. This one I'm pretty sure I've sold the exact same pattern before. And then this one I thought was really cool. I've never seen it before. It's got this like weird fish on it. And what I was actually thinking is I come across Jerry Garcia ties often enough. These I'm going to just leave in a pile and add to it. And when I have like 10 Jerry Garcia ties, I'm going to list them as a lot of 10 for like $100. That's what I was thinking. I think I come across them often enough that I could do that a few times a year instead of selling them individually. Then we've got a wool tie, which is one of your basics of tie reselling. Look for 100% wool ties. And this one, excellent brand, Suit Supply. I'll buy anything with that label on it, whether it's a tie, a suit, a sport coat, a suit vest, whatever it is. Ties, fantastic sellers, anywhere from the low 20s up to 40, $50, sometimes higher. They make 100% cashmere ties. Definitely look out for the Suit Supply label in almost any kind of item. And then last but not least, this very nice, colorful tie. And this is Paul Frederick. Paul Frederick ties are okay to pick up. They're all right. If you really want them to sell quickly, as with almost any brand of tie, the more colorful, bright, and eye-stopping they are, the faster they're going to sell and the more money you can get for them. So I expect this to be like a $29.95 type of flip right there. So very solid. That's all of our ties, but I do have a bonus item for you. I wanted to include this, because I bought it. And these are often near the ties and belts and things like that are all together. It's a pair of suspenders. And tons of the suspenders I come across don't have any kind of label or branding on them. If they do, a lot of times it's on these clasps. And this is a pair of Trafalgar suspenders. Go ahead and look that up and thank me later. That is our tie haul today. Really fantastic set of ties that I found, a pretty good mix of bread and butter and some real nice high value ones as well. Nothing makes me happier than buying a tie for $1 and selling it for 40 or 50 just a few days later.